modern day Gestapo. Chicago Mayor
So
Johnson
we are
accused ICE
listening
of being secret.
to Kristi Noem impeachment. Um, let's hear it a little bit. It's this is interesting. Hold on one second. Trying to fix this. If it ever works. Okay. I'm listening to it in the computer. Obviously, you know, it could be copyright. So um, it would be for 30 seconds.
Police and terrorizing our community. Representative Lynch referred to ICE agents as the Gestapo and nondescript thugs, and Representative Frost compared ICE operations to some of the worst horrors and crimes against humanity in history. And so, Secretary Noem, I'd like to give you a few moments to, one, address these statements, and to speak to how these statements place the safety of our men and women of law enforcement at risk.
Okay, so hold on. Explain a little bit. Okay, so I believe, it is my belief, that ICE agents are being called this. Now, we have to all respect, you know, law enforcement. You know, I respect law enforcement. Seriously, I do. Everybody, not just police, not just my local police, but everybody, right? So, what else can you say if ICE agents are acting as thugs and not as law enforcement like they should, right? Now, like I said, I respect law enforcement, including um, HSI, Border Patrol, etc. Right? I respect that. They need to start acting like it, right? You can't go out on the streets hitting people or just detaining people just because, you know, we look like this, right? And what about if someone's a U.S. citizen? They've been detaining U.S. citizens, right? Now, if you are a U.S. citizen, don't get involved in, you know, hitting agents. This has, you know, it makes all Hispanic and all immigrants look bad, right? Because, I mean, it is like that. If you act like them, then what are you, right? You don't, if you're a US citizen and you want to defend your community, immigrant community, you should go out, protest. But once they tell you, back up and, you know, like, back up. Because bad things come from that, right? Okay, Mass Stopper Penter Entertainment. Hello, my name is Mastop from Indonesia. Hello, my friend. So, you know, we all want to protect our immigrant community, right? But like, agents should know, they should know better. Once you're 100 miles away from the border, you can't be asking people if they're U.S. citizens, if they are permanent residents, etc. If they're illegal in the country, that's the law. You know, I feel like something has to be done. Like, let's say in California, I live in California. If you get detained by police, you end up in jail. It's because you obviously did something bad, right? You did something wrong. You ended up in jail. Should you be placed in immigration hold? If it was something like domestic violence, robbery for the 10th time or third time, then I guess something has to be done, right? We all think that. Who wants criminals in their countries? Nobody does, okay? Nobody does. So, should this change? I think so. It was done when Obama was in office. Like here, I live in the county of Santa Clara. If you were detained by the police because you were driving under the influence, let's say, or domestic violence, you would get a hold from immigration in jail, right? and then you would be deported. You would have a due process. You wouldn't just be deported out of the country. You would have due process, right? And then from there, you know, okay, let me read the messages. How's your Tuesday going? It's going great. Thanks to God, yeah. The coast and the House representative. Yeah. So it's going great. Thank you for asking. Yeah, so everybody has to have a due process. That's why we love America, right? Because there's laws. And it's not against the law to ask for asylum per se. It's not against the law. If there's a lot of people that came in the country and they asked for asylum at the border, right? Those people should have the chance to, you know, go through the process of asylum. I know a lot of people are lying. You know, it's true. A lot of people, like, they ask for visas. There is fraud. You know, we cannot say there isn't. I would be lying if I said there was no fraud. We all know that. Everybody knows that. The government knows that. People know that. But there is honestly people that are legit, that have been through so much. They deserve, like, if you've been here 10 years and you've created a family here, why can they have the chance of staying here if they had paid their taxes, have a good background? You know, why not? Why can they not? You know, it's we love the US. Everybody loves the US. Everyone in the world wants to come here and have a life here, right? But I'm hearing the impeachment of Kristi Noem, and I asked her, right? She's a US citizen, obviously. What if it was one of your family members? What if you were born here but someone related to you wasn't? Would you feel okay if they got deported because they didn't come here legally, or they did come here legally but their visa expired but they ended up having family here? I think immigration reform now, it's a good time. If you're going to remove criminals, totally okay. I think every state, not the police. I don't think the police should work with immigration. I'm not saying that. I would never say that. However, if you end up in jail, if someone is in jail, if someone, for whatever reason, ends up in jail, and I mean for a legit crime, not just because you got pulled over and you didn't have an ID, and then they take you in to fingerprint you, then you stay there for maybe a few hours, and then you get an immigration hold. Not that. I'm saying if you committed a crime, if you were convicted of a crime, right? If you're in jail and you are convicted of a crime, then I think you should have your due process first, and then from there, you know, if you end up deported, I'm sorry, you committed a crime, right? But due process, not just because you ended up in jail and you were not even found guilty of anything, then I don't think you should be deported to your country. It's really hard. And I'm seeing this impeachment. I don't think this should happen in the US. You shouldn't be getting impeached because you're doing something wrong. You need to follow the law. If a judge tells you can't deport these people, you follow the law. Not because you're in a higher position, you're not going to follow the law. If, let's say, I end up in court for whatever, and the judge tells me you need to do community work, I'm going to do it because the judge told me to do it, right? That's the law. Okay, let's listen a little bit more to Kristi Noem.
Thank you, Congressman Guest. I appreciate you giving me the chance to talk about this, because I think the words that these elected officials have used to describe our law enforcement officers are horrific, shocking, and unacceptable. Every single American citizen should find the words that they have used to describe these men and women that took an oath to keep us safe unacceptable, and needs to be pointed out that we are seeing the consequences of those words every single day by the violent attacks.
Gentlemen-
1,000% increase in
Gentlemen's
violent
time's
attacks,
expired.
8,000% in death threats.
Gentlemen's
It's
time
unacceptable.
gentlemen's time expired. I now recognize the gentleman from Michigan, Mr. Tanadar.
Okay, see, that's what I mean. They always find, she always finds a way to say, okay, you said something about the agents and now they're getting death threats. No, it's not because of that. It's because of the actions. It's because of how they are acting when they are just picking up people from the streets. They have picked up U.S. citizens. Now you in the comments, you watching here, are you okay with that? Let's say you're Mexican American or you look Hispanic, right? Or nowadays they're going for Somalians, right? You look Somalian. But you are a US citizen, right? And you're just walking to the store, getting out of the store, or you park in the parking lot and then they're there and they ask you for your citizenship and you just don't want to talk, you don't want to say anything. That's your right. You have that right to stay quiet and not say anything. Now a lot of people might not like this, right? You know, some people think that since it's border patrol or HSI, they have the right to ask you whatever they want, or they have the right to ask anybody whatever they want. That's not how it works. That's not how it is. This is not the law, you know. And you know how they pick up random people when they're walking, right? And then the neighbor sees that they're picking up people, so they get out, and then the other neighbor, and that's how it starts, right? And what does HSI or immigration do? They start throwing tear gas. You know, they start doing a lot of things that are not there. It doesn't look good for them. It doesn't look good for them, right? And I'm not saying they should run away, but if you're picking up one person from a house, you know, if they have a warrant, you have the right to do so. You can go and pick them up because you have a paper that says you can pick that person up, right? Now, I don't know why people think that it's okay. So let's say, for example, I don't want to say this, but a gang goes out in mask and they dress up like ICE and they start picking people up, and then these people disappear. They can't find them, right? Who are you guys gonna think that did this right now? I mean, right now, I would think it was ICE, right? Okay, let me read some of your messages. Some of the messages, I'm pretty sure they're not good messages. So Mexicans for Trump, send them back. You want to be sent back to Mexico? Angel de Villa, you said Mexicans for Trump, send them back all to Mexico. That's what you said. I'm pretty sure you might be Mexican American, but I don't think your ancestors came here legally, right? I doubt it. I completely doubt it. I'm pretty sure you have one family member that doesn't have a legal status in the country. So it's kind of, I'm gonna show your message just because, so people can see it. I mean, you're Mexican, brother. Let me see. Deselving. It says, I wouldn't care. I would rather have people that confirm to the U.S. that you probably said contribute to the U.S. society. They are not. Okay, who's not? Do you know how much immigrants, I mean immigrants without legal status, do you know how much they put in the Social Security and all that for you? You know how much taxes they pay a year? I'm just asking you, do you know? Or you're just saying that because you've heard it from other people? Okay, now this is from Angela, Mexicans again. Okay. Now you have the right to like Trump, you have the right to not like him. Like I really don't like, I don't hate the man because I feel bad for him because I feel that it's not even him like making all these decisions. For some reason, I don't think it's Trump making these decisions. I think everybody in the background that is with him, I think it's them telling him what to say, what to do. You know, I mean, he's a rich man. He's been a rich man since forever. You know, he says whatever he wants. He's always said it, you know, like it's okay. It says Angela, Mexicans for eyes. And then it says, yes, I'm from Mexico. Angel. Okay, so Angel, are you from Mexico or were you born in Mexico? You came here legally, or I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't know, right? My mother did it the right way and got us papers. How? Please, 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 don't tell me that she got a visa in Mexico, waited for her papers to be ready and they came. Or did she ask for asylum in the border? Please say that. Because, or is your mom rich? Probably. She's rich in Mexico. Like, I have family members in Mexico that are attorneys or teachers. They work for the government. One of my brother-in-laws, he's a judge. You know, it's upsetting. I mean, what you're saying, it's like my mother came here legally. I don't know. That's what you're saying. I show my ID when any officials ask for it. Why would you not show your ID? Okay. You can't be showing your ID to anybody just because they ask for it. I don't know who told you that, but you know, I mean, I do too. Like, let's say I reported a crime, right? And the police came to my house. And I just want to report the crime and I can give them my name, right? That's the right I have. I don't have to give them my ID. But they ask for it, so I give it to them. I mean, I have nothing against, I have my real ID and I just show them my ID and everything's good, right? I have nothing to hide. So I give them my ID. And that's totally okay for people that want to do it. There's some people that don't want to do it. Like, you're in the car in the passenger side, and you're not doing anything. You're not on the driver's side, right? You're just in a parking lot, and the police just comes because someone called, right? And they ask you for your ID. You can't. If you don't want to give them your ID, you don't have to. You don't have to. You're not in the driver's side. You're not doing anything bad. Now, you can respond to whatever they're asking if you want, because they have not pulled you over, right? It says, Angel again, Trump is the best president ever for Mexicans. Okay, you shocked me there. He's the president of the US? How is Trump the best president ever for Mexicans? He don't like you. He don't like Mexicans. Did you just hear what he said his first term on 2016? Mexico only sends the worst. Right? So do you consider yourself to be the worst? Born in Mexico. Great. I love it. Okay, Emo, keep wasting your time. Live Red Kingdom. Okay. I don't affiliate with Democrats or Republicans. I don't trust politics. I don't. They promise you one thing all the time. They never do what they promise. Not Democrats, not Republicans. Trump said that prices were gonna be lower the first day for groceries. I'm sorry, I go to the grocery store. Before it was $50, now I waste $200 on the same products. Now, please tell me, does every president like keep their promises? Deporting people, yeah, I mean, Obama deported a lot of people. And he didn't have to go out on the street. They didn't have to, like, ICE didn't have to go out on the streets. He deported a lot of people. And he did it by holding those in jail to be deported. But they didn't go out. They didn't have to go out to the streets. Go back and check. Did you ever see when Obama was in office, ICE agents in the street asking people or just detaining people? So for you, it's okay. For you, for HCCHJ, for you, it's okay that they are just detaining people because of how they look, right? Because we look like this, right? Is it okay? My husband's Hispanic. He looks completely white. White. He looks like a white person. He wouldn't be detained. But if I go out, like I would be detained. Or I don't even think I would be asked if I have a legal status. They would just detain me just because I look like this. So you're telling me it's okay for them to be doing this? Obama didn't have to do this. And he deported a bunch of people. Most of them bad people. Right? People that were driving under the influence. People that had done a lot of weird things. I don't know. What do you think? Okay, let's keep looking at this. Okay, Sean Wood, the police can't put us in jail for not following their instructions requests. They do not have to just give us a ticket. Refusing to cooperate is your right. The consequences is going to jail. Hold on. Let me just answer this. I have to charge my phone. You are wrong. If you are in a public space, let's say I'm recording, right? The police comes and they ask me for my ID. You have the right to refuse because you have not committed a crime. Okay? So it makes no sense what you're saying. You don't go to jail just because you don't cooperate with the police. If you're not doing anything bad, if you're doing something bad, I suggest you to cooperate with the police, right? Okay, let's see a little bit of this again.
For 5 minutes question. Please remember to stick to the 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chairman Garbarino and Ranking Member Thompson, for having this hearing today. I know the American people have been demanding answers from this administration on their unlawful actions. So I hope we are able to get some useful answers from our witnesses today. Secretary Noem, this past May, I asked you during a congressional hearing if it was the policy of DHS to follow.
Okay, hold on, guys. I have to go get my charger. It's weird that when I'm doing something, my phone just dies. I have a cheap phone. Okay, there's Williams, Sean. My dad's a police officer. Wow, my respect for your dad. I respect law enforcement. It doesn't matter, at least to me, if they agree with me or not. I respect law enforcement always. My daughters always hide the chargers, guys. Thank you for his services. We all should respect the police. Because what do you, like, a lot of people hate on the police. And what happens when you need the police, right? What happens when you're in an emergency or something's happening to you? Who do you call, right? The police, right? That's exactly what you do. Okay. So let's keep going. Let me just charge my phone, senoritos. Okay, let me see. It says Williams, blue eye, blonde hair. Uh-oh. I suggest you research this topic. Trust me. Trust me. I know. I know the police cannot just, what I'm saying is like, they could ask you for your ID if you've been like, if you're being detained for something. I'm not saying they cannot. I'm saying like if you've been detained, like you get pulled over or something's going on, like you're reporting a crime or something, then obviously, you're supposed to provide your ID, right? But if you're not doing, let's say someone calls the police on you because you're parked in front of their house, right? And you are in the driver's side. It's obvious that you have to provide an ID because someone called, right? They don't know what you're doing there, right? And it's totally okay if you have to provide it. Nothing around that. Okay. Goblin. I'm not gonna say that because Amen, Goblin. Oh my God. Okay. Let me see. Okay, Goblin. You call the police. They end up arresting you for calling them. Seriously, has that happened to you? Senoritos. Okay. This is. There has never been a moment in your life where calling the police better the situation. Where police function are probably cause under the rules. Police can question with a sufficient degree. Police officers don't want confrontation of any sort, but they have a job to do, right? I don't answer questions and I do not consent to searches. Okay, all glory. I'm gonna read this out loud. I don't answer questions and I do not consent to a search. If you say anything other than that, you're an idiot. Thank you. Thank you. See, you just said what I wanted to say. And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the truth. I know it hurts. I know it sometimes you're just like, the police has a right to ask you whatever they want and you just have to answer like a little girl. Like your mom just got angry at you and you have to answer, right? That is not how it works. I am so guys. It does not work that way. It's only if you want to, right? I've learned this through the years. I didn't even know until, like guys, I just study some. So all glory, it's correct. If a cop is asking you questions, it's not so he can help you. It's so he can help himself and he will throw you in jail in order to do so. You know what? Sometimes, I'm not saying that every cop, right? Sometimes there's cops that don't follow their own law. They know the law, but they don't care. So they end up arresting you just because you don't want to cooperate with them, which I think it's awful. They should know better. Rutilo from Argentina. Hola. Hello. How are you today? Okay, Stuart. IA retired detective, and it's scary that in the 21st century, so many still don't know the laws. Are you talking about me? I hope not. I don't know why this charger isn't working. Not only that, I have cheap chargers. Come on, charger, work. Okay, it's not working, you guys. Let me get another charger. You know, I'm not law enforcement, so I don't know the complete law. The only thing I can say is I respect law enforcement. They do everything how they're supposed to do it. Like in my area, I know a lot of cops that are like, they do their job how they're supposed to. And who doesn't like that, right? Everybody likes to see police doing their job. I know a lot of people have bad experience with police. Most of us, I would want to say, have had good police interaction. Like I would definitely, like, if I saw someone doing something bad and I know it's bad, I would call. I don't want to say I'm a Karen, but I like helping my community, because at the end of the day, if someone that's robbing a house, let's say, and I don't call the police, what about if there's someone inside and they end up hurt? And I could have prevented it, right? Hold on, guys. Oh, jeez. Okay, do not know what's going on with my phone. Okay, it's not even the phone. I need to charge this. Yeah, so it's kind of like a roller coaster thing. Okay. Come on, phone, work. Guys, I'm trying to charge this and I hate this phone. Supposedly they're good phones, right, from Apple. Okay, it says All Gloria says, I like to give an example. Charles Vance Morgan was a THP for 15 years. In 2012, he initiated a traffic stop that ended in a crash. Charles saw the car on fire, and instead of stopping, okay, what happened? A white woman with stored. If you think your silence with a police officer is advisable, I understand you should speak with officers, but use your words carefully. You can't incriminate yourself. Exactly. That's what I just said. Like, and this I'm just talking about me. I'm not talking about everybody and other people. I'm talking about myself, okay? Like, not that I get pulled over, okay? I'm not saying if I get pulled over. I'm just saying, like, if I am somewhere and a cop is asking me something, or he's asking me for my ID, right? I will give it to him. Why not? I mean, I'm not hiding anything, right? Now, you would think that a lot of people that actually don't say anything, it's because they're hiding something. Most of the time, you're hiding something, right? Why would you lie to yourself? Okay, let me read some comments. I like reading all the comments, so let me see. Resale says hearts love me too. Okay. Milagros Diaz. Hello everyone. I don't think there's nobody here, but that's okay. I was just scrolling through and saw the Kristi Noem is being impeached. I'm so happy. I don't even know what to do with myself. I don't think she's a good fit for her, for, the position she's holding. There could be someone better. She doesn't follow the law. She just gets in really nice airplanes and goes wherever she wants. She's an actor, basically. That's what I think. If you see her past, everything she's done is like acting or putting herself beautiful on TV, a lot of surgeries and stuff like that. I think she was a beautiful woman before how she was. And I just feel like she's like, the position she's in right now, like, not a good fit for her. To milagros. There is a God was done in the dark, always comes out to light. Thank you for this news. Have a blessed week. You too, milagros. Okay. Oh glory, because Charles was a cop, no charges were brought up against him, and he was only fired from the police force. Charles is currently running for office in Noville, Tennessee, I'm pretty sure. Okay, do you see what I mean? Like, why would they let someone like this run for office? Okay. The second part of the comment didn't post. Okay. Stony, don't use Jesus' name in a bad way, disrespectful. Did I? I don't think I did. I love Jesus. That's a lie about Charles. Todd, all glory. Todd is saying that's a lie about Charles. Charles said, hi, hello. Nothing's happening. No. Something is happening. I hope I don't get copyrighted. So I don't think I should. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna get copyrighted. Okay, but I'll tell you what's going on.
Follow orders issued by federal courts. You
Actually,
said
she is.
on the record,
Todd,
I'm
she
quoting
is.
here,
She is getting
we are
impeached.
following all federal orders. End of my quote. End of your quote. Secretary Noem, you lied to me under oath that day. You lied to the American people, and you have betrayed the trust placed upon you in your role as Secretary.
Okay, so that part, I want to stand out that part. So you're telling me, so you said Kristi Noem is not getting impeached. She is. So she says all the truth. She says it's always the truth, right? She always says the truth. Like, for example, U.S. citizens are not being detained. Even if it's for a few hours. I'm asking you, Todd, are U.S. citizens getting detained by ICE? Or is it just a hoax, like our president says? You tell me. I'll wait here for your response. And this answer is for Todd. I mean, this question, what is wrong with me, this question? I'm so sick that I can't even think. Hoax. Okay. Craig Lawson. Okay. So U.S. citizens are not being detained. You're saying U.S. citizens are not being detained, not even for a few hours? Please, just refresh that for me.
Secretary of Homeland Security. You defied federal court orders when you refused to order the deportation flights to El Salvador.
Only if they obstruct. But they are, oh, wait, no. Hold on. You, Craig, I'm gonna tell you a little story. And this happened at the beginning of the term for this year for our president, right? So this kid, a 20-year-old kid, Mexican-American kid, okay? So he was in, I'm not sure, Florida or somewhere else. He was detained by ICE. No reason. He looked Mexican. So he was detained. He was put in immigration custody in a detention center for I think it was 3 weeks or so. And they asked him, are you a U.S. citizen? He said, yes, he was. They didn't believe him, right? They said, nope, until we get your paperwork. They got his birth certificate because he lived in Mexico, right? So mom took him to Mexico and he grew up over there, but he is a U.S. citizen. This kid was detained with every other person that had no legal status. I feel bad for this kid because he is a U.S. citizen. He was traumatized. He said he would have to pee like in front of everybody. It was disgusting. Other people were scared. He said a lot of things. Like if you search up the first kid, because he's a kid. I have a 21-year-old. He's a kid. Was in a detention center for 3 weeks. He's a U.S. citizen, for God's sake. He is a U.S. citizen. Now he's traumatized. So that's just one that I can tell you about. If you go back and search it up, you'll see. I'm being honest. Let me read some of the messages. So you're saying that's a hoax. It's not. Okay. Only if they obstruct. Now, I said it at the beginning of the video. If you see ICE detaining people and they're in the streets, there's barely anything you can do, right? You don't want to get in front of them. You can be like in the back, taking video, saying whatever is happening or trying to alert other people. You can do that, right? You cannot get in front of them, run them over with your car. You can't do that. You need to have some respect, right? But the problem is that these people are not acting like they should. You don't go out and arrest people just because they look illegal. You can look illegal. That doesn't mean you are. Okay. Irn Mandla, correct. She said correct. Okay. Brody, use a dictionary. All words you need. All of them? Okay. If the police can detain citizens when they suspect of committing a crime, why can federal law enforcement? The police can detain citizens when they suspect of committing a crime. I know, they suspect of committing a crime, right? They have the right to do so. But these people are just walking to the store with their kids sometimes, right? You saw that 13-year-old that stayed by himself in the car when they detained his father with no criminal record. By the way, he's out already. He's out. They let him out inside the U.S. He was not deported. Okay. And then it says, our story is a joke. Oh, no, your story is a joke. No, it's not a joke. I'll show you. I know you might think it's a joke. You know what? I'll just put it on the TV. Hold on, my darling. I'm being honest. I'm looking at it right now. It's live. I wouldn't tell you something that is not true. I just don't want to pass it like a law because I'm not sure if I'm going to get copyrighted. I'm going to copyright it. Okay. Hold on. So it says, here we go. A story now. Was he Mexican American? Yes, he was. A U.S. vet got deported. Fucking unacceptable. Are you talking about the I'm not sure if he was Vietnamese or Chinese, the guy that they were talking about here? I know. How dare they? Don't they get U.S. citizenship automatically when they join the army here? Okay, so Lovano, he likes hardworking legal Mexicans that contribute to the U.S. economy, not cartel, Mexican gangs, etc. And this is Lovano, right? Who likes that? Right? Who likes cartel members? Who likes criminals? Nobody does. Nobody does. And I'm in Florida. Should have ID like everyone. Yeah. Oh, geez. What did I do? And then it says, What is his name? I don't even remember his name. Why don't you give names or details? Okay, I'll search it up right now. Where? I'm not sure. I think it was in Florida. But if you search the first U.S. citizens that got detained in immigration detention center, it will appear on there. Far right. Some innocent people will be a part of this, unfortunately. I still have no sympathy for the criminals and back ICE. And again, I come again with this. I understand. ICE could be doing their job, right? There's no doubt in my mind they should. I mean, they have to. There's, it's something normal that has happened for years. It's not like Trump just decided to go out for people and it's never happened. This has been happening for a long time. People have been detained by ICE for a long time now. This is not new. A lot of people think that, oh my God, this is horrible. A lot of innocent people are being detained. No, I am letting you guys know this is not new, right? This has been going on for a long time. People have been detained all the time. This is not new. One citizen got detained out of how many millions? That's like getting struck by lightning. So to my knowledge, it's 175. And that's what I've researched. It's just 175. And some of them are because they're obstructing with, whatever they're doing, whatever ICE is doing, right? Some of them, do things that they shouldn't be doing. I think that's wrong. They shouldn't, like they should just like, if they see someone being detained but it's still like, why would ICE go out in the streets? That's what makes no sense. I think every state should be doing what Obama did before. If someone was arrested and they're not legal in the country, they're put in jail, right? They would usually put an immigration hold. And then they would have their due process and they would be deported. Right? That's what happened before. And I think that's what should happen now. So like that, ICE won't have to go out on the streets and look for people just because of the way you look. It's easier and it's less dangerous for ICE, right? I don't know what you guys think. I know that sometimes you could be arrested because you didn't pay a ticket and you get thrown in jail, right?
Federal courts
Okay.
have also
Let me
found
see.
your
Let me see. Okay, so that's I don't know what you guys think. I think that should be the way. Okay, Norberto, when authorized group goes after people but have to hide their identity, then something is wrong. That's correct. That's correct. Okay, let's see a little bit.
Witness will allow the gentleman to answer his question. Yes or no? Who approved the asylum claim?
The application on the asylum was thoroughly filled out by information that was gathered by the Biden administration.
So the
This
Biden
asylum-
administration approved the asylum.
The asylum application was put into place under the rules established by the Biden administration.
Okay. Now, I think, I'm not sure about you guys. I think it's time to move past Biden. I think Biden let a lot of people in. He opened the border for everybody just to come in. And Border Patrol received them, right? Like they would be like, you know, it's okay. Have you guys, in the history of the US, has anybody seen this before? Not me. Not even in the past. Not even in the past, whatever years, how many years you want to go back. I've never seen that. Did he do it the wrong way? I think he did. I think Biden did it the wrong way. Even Mexico was invaded, right? But Mexico was just kind of like, okay, you know, I'll help you in the moment because I know you don't want to stay here. Everybody was coming to the US. Now, it didn't affect me that everybody came in like that. But I saw people that were affected. Rents started rising. I don't know if it has anything to do with this, but rents started rising. It was just something weird. I just think Biden should have never let this happen. And that's what destroyed everything. That's why the president's doing this right now, right? But he needs to understand there's good people. There's good immigrants that have been here for a while. They have grown-up kids. They have kids in the army. Do you think that if a person's bad, they're going to raise, like Narciso, right? They're going to raise three U.S. Marines? I don't think so, right? I don't think so. There is good immigrants, legal or not legal. I mean, I've seen legal people do ugly things, the worst of the worst. They've done a lot of ugly things, and they are still here, right? If they've been here that long, they should have done their paperwork and become citizens. They obviously don't care. Craig, I just want to like point that out. If it was easy for people that have been here for, let's say, 20 years, if it was easy for them to legalize their status, don't you think they would have done it? They don't. They can't. You can't. It's hard. You cannot do that. You could be here for 30 years. If you don't have a way to fix your legal status, they can't fix it. They can't. There's nothing they can do. There's no money to pay. Attorneys, they just tell you, no, you can't. There's nothing you can do. I'm sorry. And I understand what you're saying, but you just can't. You can't just be like, oh, I'm here 20 years, so I'm going to legalize my status. It's not easy. 10-4, anything worth having doesn't come easy. That's true. That's true. Like if you want to have a house, right? You have to work really hard. You have to save a lot of money. Now, let's say in California, how are you going to save money if you can barely make it through the month? Look, I had a construction business. I helped a lot of Mexicans get their green cards and paperwork. So don't tell me otherwise. Craig, when was this? What year? Did they came here legally? Because if you're going to tell me, if you, Craig, are going to tell me, I work as a translator for an attorney, an immigration attorney. If you're going to tell me that you're their employer and you brought them to the country with the work permit visa, then you are totally right. They fixed their legal status because of you. Now, if you tell me you hire them here and they had nothing, if you're telling me they had no legal status when you hire them, then that's a lie. But if you're telling me it was along like in the 2000s, then I believe you. Because you would be able to do that back then. In the 2000s, you were able to help your employees get a work permits visa in the country, even if they were here illegally. You would be able to do that, right? That's it. Hold on one second. Okay, so let me see. I have Ingrid Funk. It says she's lying, she's lazy, wrong, you're wrong, she's illegal. How in the world would she know if I'm legal or not? And then she says, I'm gonna show this message. I just want to show it. I'm reporting her much ass. Reporting me to what? You're just a hater. Okay, but I'm not gonna follow you because it's just I'm friendly. Okay, it says Norbert, a friend it's mine, worked in his citizenship for 10 years and died from citizenship before being about to get it. Exactly. It took in 10 years, I mean, you can't get your citizenship in 10 years. If you come in legally, obviously, if you're going to stay in the country, you have to, like, I guess, do something about it. You know, you can't just stay. You have to get out and fix your country. Get out and fix your country. What country? Ingrid Funk. She is also racist. Who's racist? Manny Diaz. Who's racist? Ingrid? Probably. Show. It says Norbert. Oops, died from COVID. See what I mean? Like, it's not easy. Okay, let me read them from over here because I am not able to see them. Let me see. See, I'm going to a better live stream where people know what they're talking about. Craig, come on, Craig. We all know it's not easy to fix anybody's legal status. It's common sense. I mean, you can't, I mean, a lot of people that know, you can't fix legal status just out of nowhere. You have to have like some kind of, like, let's say, for example, hold on, I'm gonna show you a little bit of this. Hold on.
State federal injunctions in your continue to send non-citizens on deportation flights, with some courts having called your orders unlawful. Secretary Noem, I just have 3 questions for you. 1, why did you lie under oath?
Why did she lie under oath? Because she doesn't care. Right? That's how it is. Ingrid Funk. I don't like your name, Ingrid. Okay. Craig. Sorry, people. I'm out. She's lying too much. I am not lying. That I can tell you for sure. But you don't like me. It's fine. I like you. It's fine. Totally great. Well, you need to pledge lands to America to be an American, not be here and soaring a Mexican flag or other flags. Okay, I'm not even going to say anything. You have no words to determine who can or should be here. Manny Diaz. That's how America is, right? You can wave your flag if you want to. Actually, this was Mexico before. Even though it was before, it was Mexico. You have no word. Okay. Can you shout out my cousin? He watches your live all the time. His name is... Nope, I'm not going to say that, Tan Club. I know it already. Windstorm. Bro said pledge and lands. Windstorm Legends. A pledge. Yes, you are lying. Almost everything you say, it's a lie. By come on, Richie P. I'm not lying. It's true. What's okay? Tell me one thing that I've said that is not true. One thing, just one thing. Tell me. And if I'm wrong, I'll tell you. You know what? Rach P, Pie. Yeah, Raj Pie. I'll tell you, you are totally right, and I'll ask for forgiveness. I'm just fine. I'll just say if I'm right, I'm wrong, okay? And you lost the war. If you like Mexico so much, go to Mexico. If I like Mexico, I just go to Mexico. Trump MAGA. And there you go. You can like whatever politics you like you want. I'm not against that. Gulf of America. I'm sorry. It's Gulf of Mexico. Even though on the maps it says something else. It's always been the Gulf of Mexico. I mean, it is what it is. I know you guys get upset about it, but is that. You can't do anything about it. It's the Gulf of Mexico. Stop it, Edward. See what I mean? Like, I know you guys don't like it, but it's the Gulf of Mexico. It's always been like that. So let's say you have a name for your business, right? And it's your business. You're not selling the business. But a customer comes in and says, we're going to change your name, right? And just change your name. I mean, who's the owner of the Gulf of Mexico? Is there? I don't even know. Can someone tell me? Not anymore. We took that SHIT. Come on, guys. Okay, now let me show you what
The
mayoría is.
daily average under the last administration. 10 months under Trump has seen less apprehensions than 1 month under Biden. Since January 21 through the end of November, there have been 107.
I mean, this lady, like, I swear, Trump could call her the B word, Trump can call her the whatever word, and she still likes the man. She still thinks that this man just likes her. I mean, seriously, everybody knows that Trump likes himself. I mean, he's a rich person. He likes rich people. If you're not rich, he don't like you. You guys need to understand that. I mean, he was a comedian, I think, right? I mean, he's funny. I mean, he makes me laugh when he says like dumb things. Everybody laughs. I laugh too. Right? And I don't have anything against the man, you know, it's okay. You know, if you like him because he's funny, then you like him, right? It's totally okay. Like sometimes me and my husband are just sitting there and we're watching videos and he says something dumb and we laugh, right? Because he's funny. That's how he attracted people, by being funny. But, you know, I've known people that actually voted for him. And you ask them, are you okay? You know, you voted for him. Are you okay with that? You know, are prices down now? No, they're not. You know, like, it's really seriously, like, you go to the store and everything's really expensive. Everything. I was saying before, I would go to the store and I would waste $50 and I would buy a few things, you know. Now I go, it's like 150, more than double. Nadeway, the way I see it is, if you're 250 years old, then you have entitled to be here. If not, then come here the right way. Conquered people, conquered land. That's just being honest. 250? Did you meant to say 25?
17,105
Let's listen.
total enforcement encounters along the southwest border, which is nearly 40% less than the monthly average during the Biden administration. Meanwhile, there has been an 8,000 increase.
I want to point that out. It's true. The border, it's closed for illegals to come in illegally. I mean, people that are allowed to come in, they come in. I think Biden, as I said it before, Biden didn't do the right thing by doing this. He could have done something for immigrants that were not here legally, but they were here already, right? They were in the country already. Instead, it was completely the opposite. He let a lot of people in and they got work permits. And a lot of people that have no legal status, no work permits, that they've been here for like 10 years, they have been paying their taxes, they have nothing. Now, I think this is where Biden messed up, right? Biden should have never done this. This is why the country was divided. They started seeing a lot of people pouring in from so many different countries, and they were getting asylum. You know, a lot of people are permanent residents now because their asylums got approved. And they just came in and they got it, right? It took about 2 years. Now, was that fair? No, it wasn't. No, 250, that's how old is nation his nation will be in July. I think that says a lot if you do the research behind it. I mean, I don't know. Let's see. Let's hear.
And death threats against ICE law enforcement. Secretary Noem, back in July, the department put out a press release titled Worst of the Worst. Criminal proceedings begin in a case of transgender illegal alien accused of rape, child.
Now that kills me. That hurts me. Hey, Mom. Wait, Mom. Yeah. TV chicken. TV chicken, my baby. My baby. Say hi, my baby. That hurts me personally. When someone comes in from another country and instead of doing good for themselves, they start hurting people. Not fair. Not fair. Okay, now it says, Winston Smith, you guys gotta realize that the president doesn't have as much power as you think. It's not about Trump or Biden or red or blue. It's the rich versus the poor. No matter who is in office, we got screwed. That's how it's always been. The richer always want to get richer, and they want the poor to always be poor so we can work for them. Right? I mean, I don't think I'm wrong. Love you, God. Cute dog. Yeah, she's beautiful. Her name is Terry. Manny Diaz, your dog needs you more than us. Have a great day. Oh, thank you. Yeah, she's so beautiful. Victim mindset. No, I just hate. You want to go to the bathroom? Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. Okay, let's listen to Marjorie.
Rape. Not just rape, child rape of a 14-year-old boy in a sanctuary New York City bathroom. I wanted to highlight this case because it encapsulates so many different violent policies of Democrats.
Now, I do want to point out, he didn't do it because he was illegal. He just did it because he's always done it. U.S. citizens, white people, do ugly things to kids. I mean, you know, you can see it. If you search how many crimes immigrants actually commit in this country. And then search Americans that commit crimes in the country. You're obviously going to see that it's Americans, U.S. citizens that commit more crime than anybody else. Come on, Terry. It's common sense.
This is an increase in trans violence with their embrace of gender ideology, an egregious catch and release policy implemented under the last 4 years, and sanctuary cities that harbor criminal, illegal alien monsters that have raped and murdered many Americans.
Said Edward, that's the point of coming here the right way, so the government can see what type of history people have before letting them around the American that pay their salary to keep American. I get that, Terry, but I've also seen people that came in legally that have committed horrible crimes. They got screened, right? They shouldn't commit crimes. I mean, the government should know that they're not going to commit a crime, but they still do. I mean, just, and again, it's not easy to come into this country legally. That's why a lot of people immigrate. And immigrating, it's not against the law, right? Especially for asylum seekers. That's the law. I mean, they could do that, right? Please correct me if I'm wrong. And say, why not? Right?
When in our own backyard was unsafe. So thank you again for one. I know you traveled, you met with heads of state, El Salvador, Mexico, a couple that come to mind.
That's what I like. You travel. Yeah, she does. She travels a lot in really nice jets, paid by you, by me, and by every citizen of this country. Please tell me. You paid for that flight. Tenfish, illegal immigration, it's not against the law. What on earth are you saying? I never said that. Illegal immigration, obviously, is not against the law. You have the right to immigrate. You have the right to look for a better future. That doesn't make you a criminal. I've never said it was against the law. Come on, Terry, bañarte. I think everybody has the right to look for a better future wherever they want. It isn't easy, right? Like when, let's say we are sick, right? We are really sick. And this doctor tells you you're not going to live longer, right? You want a second opinion, right? So you go and you look for it. Now, let's say someone has cancer and they live in a different country and they want to come here because maybe here they can be safe. Is it bad to do that if they cannot do it the legal way? And I'm not encouraging people. I'm just saying. Is it that bad? Are people have to be so hateful because immigrants are trying to look for a better future? I doubt it.
But I just want to thank you and for making our backyard a priority and ultimately to keep Americans safe. Texans are more safe today than we were a year ago. And a lot of that is due to President Trump and due.
I mean, it's true. The border is secure. Well, of course it is. Jeremiah, I mean, there are people here who die all the time needing treatment and they don't just go and steal it. Steal what? The treatment? A lot of people that died, let's say cancer. The cancer they have, it's so bad that they can't do anything about it. Doctors can't do anything about it. It's not that they don't want to save you, it's that there's nothing else to do. And I'm pretty sure people research. People look for second opinions. I mean, there are people here who that, okay. Tenfish, you not understanding what I said. It it's illegal. That's why you have process and laws. You can't just cross the border. Any borders, like, no. I'm just saying, like, you can ask for asylum in the border, like not around the border, right? In the crossing border. That's what I said. We can't just go from one country to a next one, because a better life is available without getting permission from the country we wish to go to first. And you know why you say that, Jeremiah? For you to say it. If you were not a U.S. citizen and you were on the other side, you wouldn't be saying the same thing. I could assure you of that. You would not be saying the same thing you're saying right now. But it's understandable. This is the U.S., right? The world would be absolutely jealous. And I'm saying it again. I understand. It's. You can argue about it, but if you're like on the other side, what would you say? Like, I mean, I cannot even ask you this because